Let's start it here.
This book is called The Princess and the Pizza by Mary Jane and Herm Onch. It's read by your daddy. Princess Paulina needed a job. Her father had given up his throne to become a woodcarver and moved them to the humble shack in the neighboring kingdom. Since the king was still learning, his carvings didn't sell, and Paulina's garden barely kept enough on the table. Paulina missed princessing. She missed walking the peacock in the royal garden, surveying the kingdom from the castle tower, and doing the princess wave in the royal procession. Paulina tried walking a stray chicken around her shack, but it only pecked her bare toes. She tried surveying the kingdom from the shack's leaky roof, but it made even more holes. She tried princessing, waving to the townspeople from her father's cart, but nobody bothered to wave back. They just thought she was swatting flies. One day, a page rode by the shack, announcing that Queen Zelda of Blom was seeking a true princess to become the bride for her son, Prince Drupad. Yes, I said Drupad, not Rupert. "This is my chance to get back to princessing," Paulina cried. She rummaged through her truck of ex-princess stuff. She brushed the wood shavings from her best ball gown and blew away the bits of sawdust that clung to her diamond tiara. Then she tucked a piece of garlic into her bonnets for good luck. Bodice for good luck. She snipped some favorite herbs to cover up the garlic smell and headed for the castle. Paulina did not expect much competition. There wasn't other princesses for hundreds of miles. But when she got to Blom Castle, Paulina found she was only one of 12 princesses hoping to become the royal bride. She looked into her assigned bedroom. Paulina saw her bed piled with 16 mattresses. "Oh, for Pete's sake!" The old princess and the pea trick. That's so once upon a time. Naturally, Paulina did not sleep all night because she felt the lumpy pea through all of the mattresses. When the 12 princesses gathered into the throne room the next morning, the 7 who looked bright-eyed were sent home. Now only Paulina and 4 other sleepy princesses remained. First, they were made to write essays entitled, "Why I Want to Have the Gracious and Exquisitely Beautiful Queen Zelda to be My Mother-in-Law." Now, you should know Queen Zelda wasn't exactly what I would call beautiful. Prince Drupad, the wife Zelda, Prince Drupad and the wife Zelda finally appeared on the balcony. Queen Zelda did all the talking. "Congratulations, ladies. You have written some lovely essays, which I will keep in my scrapbook. And you have all passed the mattress test. But to make absolutely sure you are royal blood, there is a second test. Only a true princess can wear these glass slippers." "Oh, for Pete's sake! You never heard of Shakespeare?" Paulina asked. Queen Zelda gave Paulina a sharp look. "Nobody said you had to take a hike in them. Just try them on." After the royal page made his way around the room with the slippers, 2 big-footed princesses were sent home. Now only Paulina and 2 others remained. One was followed around by 7 strange little men, and the other had such a long braid dragging behind her that Paulina kept tripping over it. "For Pete's sake!" You never heard of scissors? Paulina cried. Queen Zelda glared at Paulina. You all have passed the second princess test. Your final task is to cook a feast that proves you worthy of being my dear Rupert's wife. This set up a wail among the princesses, especially Paulina. For Pete's sakes! You have no royal chef. Silence, said the Queen. The table holds the makings for 3 fine feasts. Choose well, for the winner will become my dear Rupert's bride. As Paulina started for the table, the long-haired princess tripped her, then loaded up with food. By the time Paulina got there, the 7 strange little men had run off with everything but some flour, yeast, and water, 3 overripe tomatoes, and a hunk of stale cheese. Hey, that's not fair. Queen Zelda, will you help me? No, said the Queen, because you have such a big mouth. A servant escorted Paulina to her room and locked the door. Hey, how can I cook without a bowl or spoons or pots? There was no reply. Paulina tried to make bread, kneading the flour, water, and yeast together, but it only stuck to the tray in a flattened mess. She squished the tomatoes over the dough and brightened it up. It looked awful. She sprinkled cheese gratings over the top. It was still a mess, and Paulina was exhausted. For Pete's sakes! Where's your fairy godmother when you need her? I'm going to take a nap. She reached under the pile of mattresses, pulled out the offending pea, and climbed into bed. She hadn't been sleeping long when there was a knock at the door. Only 20 minutes left, called the Queen Zelda. I don't smell anything cooking. I'm not cooking, said Paulina. I'm napping. Then I'm going home. You're not going anywhere, said the Queen. The losers will be beheaded. Paulina sat bolt upright. Beheaded? You didn't tell us that. I forgot, said the Queen. Sorry. Can't I have a second chance? How about I try to spin straw into gold? Or maybe I could guess a weird little man's name. No second chances, declared the Queen. But that's not fair, Paulina cried. Who needs to be fair? I'm Queen. Paulina leapt out of bed, ran to the window, but it was an unbelievably long drop to the ground. The meal was her only hope. She rushed the tray over to the fireplace, stirred a few remaining hot coals, then crushed her garlic and sprinkled it over the mess for good luck. Finally, Paulina tossed on the herbs to cover up the garlic smell. Paulina paced back and forth, planning her escape. Perhaps she could make a deal with the long-haired princess and climb down her braid. She didn't notice that the goopy dough had browned into a crust. The tomatoes were bubbling, and the hard bits of cheese had melted, and the fragrance of garlic and herbs filled the room. A page opened the door. Time's up! Paulina took a breath and carried her tray into the great dining room. The other princesses had made lovely feasts, especially the one who had 7 strange little men to help her. Prince Rupert went right for Paulina's tray. "It's not pretty, but it smells scrumptious." He helped himself to an unusually generous piece. "What do you call this dish?" Paulina shrugged. "I don't know." "It can't be an official entry in the contest if it doesn't have a name," said the Queen. "Oh, for Pete's sake!" Paulina muttered. "What's that?" snapped the Queen. "Pete's what?" Remembering the beheading threat, Paulina frantically tried to think of a name. "It's Pete's. Ah." Or maybe it should say, "It's Pete's. Pizza?" The Queen took a bite. "Odd name, but it's tasty. The winner is Paulina's Pizza." "You mean I don't get beheaded?" "I was only kidding about the beheading," said the Queen. "Then I was only kidding about wanting to marry the Prince Rupert. Who needs him? I have other plans." "Will you leave your recipe?" asked the Queen. "No way," said Paulina. "It's just become a family secret." She headed for the door. "I like you best," whined the Queen, following close behind. "Oh, for Pete's sake," muttered Paulina as she stumped across the drawbridge.
He kind of looks really...
Princess Paula, opened a pizza palace. A few weeks later, it featured unusual carved furniture and 50 kinds of pizza. Every Thursday on the royal chef's night off, Queen Zelda and Prince Rupert came to Paulina's for popcorn pineapple pizza. They often stayed and played cards with Paulina's family. From then on, whenever Paulina drove her pizza delivery cart through the town, doing the princess wave, everyone waved back and ran after her, asking about her day's specials. Life was good. Paulina was grateful not to have Queen Zelda for her mother-in-law, but she was still worried about one little thing. She worried about getting Queen Zelda
as her stepmother. The end.
Right. She was falling in love with the king, was she?
Yes.
That was a book read by Jobie Daddy. And listened to by Amelia Grace Mallett. Goodbye.